Here's a quick tutorial to show you how to import many commands and responses, multiple commands and responses at one time into Catch Connect. Now, a command is any message that you want to send to a device, and a response is any message that you're expecting from a device, quite simply. Now, the first row is very important. That has to stay here and be exactly as it is now. And we'll go through each one of these rows and show you what you could put in these fields. So the first one is message type, and that'll either be a command or a response. Pretty easy. The name can be whatever you want. So this is just a name for you, the engineer, the programmer, to identify the message that you're dealing with. And the message is the actual string in this case that will be sent to or come from the device. So that's the actual commands protocol or API. And over here, the append special character, that's if we need a carriage return or a line feed at the end of the message. So you could either leave it blank or add an R for a commands with a carriage return, or an N if there's a line feed, or RN for carriage return and line feed. Great. So in the next row here, or the next column, we have is hexadecimal, and that's going to be either true or false. And we have an example here of a hex command. So if that's true, then you're going to want to use this format here. It says 0x and then the hex value, and all of those separated by commas. And then and then you can't include any strings on there. It has to be a complete hex message. And the final one we have here is regular expression. And what that allows us to do is parse out a value, usually from a response. So if you look at this guy here, we mark is regular expression to true. And on this one here, we would be expecting a value after response. And I'll show you what that would look like. So the number 77 here, that's what would get parsed out of this value. And this is typically used at the moment to keep Alexa in sync. So if you get real feedback from a lighting system, you would put this response in there, and the caret needs to be at the beginning, and everything after where these parentheses are, everything where the parentheses are is what gets parsed out and passed on along to Alexa to keep that other app in sync. And going the other way around, we have something called a payload. So if you need to pass a value to a system as a command, then you would use these hash signs, the pound sign, whatever you like, and payload in capitals in between there. So in this case, we would be looking at my commands, and I'll put a 77 in there, and that could show up anywhere in the string. So wherever that payload is what gets parsed out and passed back along to the other end of the message, where the message is going to. So in this case, we could say, Alexa, set the lights to 77%. And if the command to do that on the lighting system was my command 77, then we would build this string for you and insert that number 77 where this hashed payload is. And that's about all there is to it. Those are all the options that are available. All right, so over here in Catch Connects, we'll add a new service. So first you would select a client, and then we'll add a service. So we'll just call this test for a CSV, and we'll add that service. And then over here, we'll select our service type, and you could enter the information for that as usual. And to use our CSV, we've got this cloud upload button right here. And that's where we'll browse to our file. We'll just click on that, browse to the file that we downloaded, select it, and that'll get uploaded, and then we'll have a list of all of those commands and responses in one shot. They'll just magically appear where they are, and you could click on this edit button to go ahead and edit them further inside the web interface. But if you need to upload a lot of commands and responses, this is really a great way to do it. All right, I hope that's helpful for you, and if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments.